All right, I'm recording. Welcome to this lesson on Screencastify. So again, in the SLAM, I think most of you are kind of familiar with Screencastify. I just want to get like a feel, like how many of you have actually used it after distance learning? Not after. Okay. Okay, so what I'm gauging is that maybe. Okay. Oh, that's awesome, Stephanie. So you're pretty advanced. So I saw Sarah Blake, you mentioned that you use Loom. I used Loom a lot. And then I came back to Screencastify because I realized with the video editing features, they had way more to offer. So, okay. Cool. So maybe I'll go a little bit slower and deeper into the video editing features because they are pretty cool, especially when you use GIFs to give instructions to students, especially those who are visual learners. Okay. Yeah, I was like loyal to Loom until I realized, wait, there's like more going on with Screencastify. So maybe you'll switch over, maybe you won't. Let's see. Alrighty. Okay. Editing capabilities. Yep. All right. So here's the rundown of our session. So first things first, let's all add this app to Chrome. So that way we can interact with it maybe as I'm going through these things, or maybe you want to save it for the sandbox, but it'd be good to have on your toolbar moving forward. So we're going to do that first, and then we're going to quickly go over the recording features, editing, submit, which is the student teacher interaction feature in Screencastify, the interactive questions, which you might be familiarized with edpuzzle. So the interactive questions piece is Screencastify's version. And then the sandbox, which is your time to play, maybe create something, have me as a crutch to lean on if you need some assistance. And then we can share out, what we've done in that later hour. Okay. So let's do this. Let's download this app. Let me paste the link. So go ahead and add it to Chrome if you haven't already done so. And then again, I will paste the link to the slides and the bit.ly in case you're late to the game here, which is totally fine. Is anyone having any troubles adding it to Chrome, or are we good? So you'll know you're good if you see this icon to the right of your search bar in Google Chrome. And then if you have difficulty with it, you know, there'll be time, like during Sandbox, we can get you added on there, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and move on. So the second thing, so this is what Screencastify is known for, is screen recording. So let's explore those 3 features. So like Google Meet, when you're presenting, you can present your tab, you can present your whole screen or a window. So with recording, you can either choose a tab that you want to record, your whole screen or desktop, or just your face. And then you can toggle on off the microphone and webcam feature. Okay, and then I'm like big into the GIFs here. I've included Screencastify's GIF on how you would get that going. You would just click their icon, which again is found on the right, to the right of the search bar, and then choose what you want to do, and then press record. Okay. Here are the editing features again. So I basically copied and pasted what I had on these slides into the SLAM. So again, I love this feature. Let me see if I can record this real quick. Can I record on top of a recording and then kind of do like a live editing? Let's see. So I'm going to... All right, so what I'm doing right now, I'm just kind of recording like a quick, maybe 10-second bit here on Screencastify. And it does work when you're recording on top of Google Meet. All right, so there's like 10 seconds there. And then, so when you record and then stop recording, what it'll do is open up a new tab, and it'll take you to... It'll take you to this window here. Okay, so I have the sound muted so that way you don't hear me twice. But again, I recorded the tab, and then you have all of these buttons here. You can open an editor. You can straight up copy and share it right away. You can see who's viewed it, or how many viewers. The interactive questions, which we will come back to a little later. And then this here is the export feature. So you can share to Google Drive, and you can also download the video file to your computer. Export as GIF, export to YouTube, download it, export as an MP4 file. And then there are others, but I don't really use it. I kind of stick to Google Drive and exporting as a GIF. And there's like a rule of thumb with GIFs. You know, you kind of want to, you don't want like a minute-long GIF, right? You kind of want to keep it really short, maybe at most 10 seconds. But again, like I'm super big into GIFs for giving instructions to students on a handout. So I'm going to go ahead and click the Open in Editor. And I don't know if maybe you're also kind of playing around with it too, as I'm doing it, like kind of recording the screen and then taking yourself to an editor. But here we are. So you can see here, we've got the strip here, and you can actually zoom into the strip. I think that's what it's called. So that way you can see more in detail, like, okay, I wanted to be at this part or this part. If you zoom in even further, you can take it down to like milliseconds. Okay, so what's great about this too, I didn't mention it in the SLAM, is you can edit the audio. You can decrease the volume or you can increase the volume. You can cut out audio, mute the audio in certain sections. You can also add audio in the add media section. And if you have any questions as I'm kind of demoing this, just feel free to raise your hand or type in the chat. Okay, so again, the cut feature, and which is mentioned in the slides, you can split the video into segments. And then if there's a part that you wanted to cut out, you can take that out. But I'm just going to keep everything here. The crop tool, again, I love this because, you know, you have the whole screen, but let's say you just wanted this part. You can toggle this and then crop it. So that way, I'm just kind of recording like a quick maybe 10-second bit here on Screencastify. So what I ended up doing is I deleted like all of our faces, and it just shows the screen here, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to undo that part. And then again, zoom. So if I want to zoom into a particular spot of the screen that I think is super important for students or staff to pay attention to. So let's say I want to emphasize this section again. Yeah, I'll keep it at standard. So let's see what happens when I do that. So you'll see this zoom overlay and you can move it around. You can extend it or you can shorten it. Shorten the duration of how long you want that part zoomed in. So let's see. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just kind of recording like a quick maybe 10-second bit here. So that's the zoom feature. Blur, personal fave. Let's say there's some personal information here, like let's like blur out my face because yeah, why not? And what's cool is you can lower the intensity or just like do full blast and you won't even know like a face was even there. Okay, and then you can also do another blur on top of a blur, like, oh, let's say I wanted to blur this recording bit here too. Yep. And again, you can extend it, extend the blur for the whole video or, you know, all that. Yeah. I blurred myself out. You can too. Okay. And then text, write something. So it's going to be an overlay. So you decide where you want the text and for how long. And you can also change the font, the size, the style. Okay, I want to write something. Hello. And let's put it here. Let's increase the font. Yep. And then again, you know, how long do you want it there? I'm keeping it for like a couple seconds. And then, yeah. And then, like I said earlier, you can upload another video if you wanted to add it on, you know, like you have multiple videos, you want to combine them together, you can totally add it on there. And then add a title. This is my masterpiece. I don't know why it's not shown up, but you get the gist, right? Any questions here about the editing feature of Screencastify? And again, you'll be given time to play around with it. you know, in creating this lesson, I'm like, wow, I'm totally going to use this even more now. All right, so I'm going to go back to the slides. All right. I had both of my laptops crash on me today, or early this morning, so I hope that everything goes smooth. All right, so again, here are the export options. I'm going to just show you an example of how you would use GIFs in a worksheet. I'll also paste the link in here. So I teach science, and we have this online interactive website called Gizmos. And a lot of students get confused with the directions. So I found that it helps, like overloading right now. Okay. Sorry, my computer is lagging. Let's see if I could close some tabs here. But you'll see here, okay, place the dog on the right pan of the balance. So I created this GIF where I put the dog on the right pan of the balance. And then students are supposed to describe what happens. And then after this little warm-up, kind of goes into this explanation of how to use a balance beam, right? So this takes a lot of practice for students to do, and putting masses on the left side until the pan is unbalanced, and then you got to take the mass off, and then yada, yada, yada. So I demoed it here so that students can visually see what they should be doing. Okay, so that's just a little, you know, example of how you would use that on a handout or a digital handout. All right. I'm going to pause. Are we good so far? Yeah, it is confusing for students, the balance beam, you know. That's why we just have these digital scales. Gizmos, you know, I believe only science teachers have this. I haven't seen any math. I mean, well, math is in science, but not like specific math interactives. I think only the science teachers have access, but it is in Clever. So I don't know, you can click Explore Learning in Clever and see if you can log in.
I tried and I can't.
You tried, okay.
So I'm like, maybe we could, maybe if I show interest. Yeah, no, I think it'd be great. We need a few more applications for math as well, right? I utilize as many as possible, like iExcel, you know, Freckle, but I think this would be great too if they do offer math lessons.
Yeah. Sarah, what did you mean by your question, Sarah?
So, like can you also include photos? So let's say I do like a deep reading video tutorial, and then I'm like, at the end, your paper should look like this, and then I like throw in a shot of what the paper should look like. Can you also include photos into your video?
Great question. So in the editing tab, I believe you can, but let me double check. I'll circle back on that, but I believe you can. Okay. All right. So moving back to, all right. So let's have a discussion. Let me link this. So far we've looked at the record and editing features of Screencastify. My question to you is, where do you see yourself using the edit feature of this application. So if you haven't used a Jamboard before, there's this sticky note option on the left under the cursor. So you can add a sticky note on there and just make a comment. They'll give you some time there while I figure out how to speed up my computer. Okay, circling back to Sarah Blake's question, can you include like a document or a screenshot in the video to show students what is expected of them, like exemplar work? The answer is no, so you can only do videos. But I think a workaround with that, Sarah, is maybe just like, you know, open your file and then just like screen record that with like no sound for like a second, and then you can upload that. That would totally work. Yeah. So again, you can only upload videos to the video editing feature of Screencastify. Great question, Sarah.
Gabrielle, if some of my students in Spanish 1 did a video, like they do a video dialogue, could they just play the video and then re-record what they're saying, even though it's not matching the lips or whatever?
So can you repeat your question again?
Yeah, you said you can edit a video, like you can pause or re-record um, like a voiceover. So then
So
if
okay, I see what you're saying. It has to be so you can only include video. So you'd have to like record the video again and then overlay it, mute the, it's a little complicated.
I mean, if let's say I have 3 students, 2 students are talking, and then one's filming them, right? The screen castifying it, and then I mean, there'll be voice or no voice, it doesn't matter. They say the words, like move their lips or whatever, and then they can come in and overlay the sound after. Like, hola, ¿cómo estás?
No.
Oh, yo estoy bien.
Yeah, no. So it would, yeah, you can't overlay or include audio. It has to be video files.
Oh, okay.
So that's a
All right.
downside to Screencastify. It's limited in that you can only, you know, upload multiple videos. You can't upload an audio file. You can't upload and then like splice it, cut it.
But if I upload the video, I can comment on it, right? Or
You can
to do another video.
So you can screen record their video, like if you press play on their video and then record your screen and then talk over it, that works.
Oh, okay.
So basically you're taking their video and then you're screen recording on top of it and making your own comments.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Claudia, I'm going to give you access to the Jamboard, and I'm going to give maybe like 1 or 2 minutes, and then we can move on. So, so far what I'm seeing is I can see myself, Using the edit feature to trim down longer videos, merging videos and cutting unwanted parts. I see myself editing other video content and blurring myself out. Adding music at the beginning of my videos with a short intro or at the end with interesting facts. To cut out, yep. Totally. Mm-hmm. Nice. Cool. Well, thank you for interacting with this Jamboard. I'm going to go ahead and move on. So here is one of the newest features of Screencastify, and that is the submit feature. So basically how that works is you can create an assignment in Screencastify, and there are 3 types. So you can require students to record their screen and their webcam, or their own, like let's say you only want their verbal or visual and audio, just them, then you could just do a webcam recording only. Or if you don't need to see their face, you can do a screen recording only, and that's a workaround with having the audio be the only thing that's required. Okay. So yeah, when you click new assignment, so let me model this for you. And you have the steps in my slides. So when you're in the Screencastify homepage, you'll have your video bank here, the edit option, and then submit. So you click new assignment and it'll prompt you. Where do you want students to access this assignment? You can create it in Google Classroom, or you can just have it as a link. So I generated a link, and then here are your options again. And then whatever title you do is going to be the name of the folder that is going to be found in your Screencastify submit folder in Google Drive. So when you link your Gmail account to Screencastify, it automatically creates the Screencastify folder, which is where all your videos are found, and the Screencastify submit folder, which is where all of your student submissions will be found. So you put all this information here, and then it's going to be listed under my assignments. Okay. So let me show you what it looks like. Copy link. And I don't believe, so I'm going to test it with you folks. I'm going to see if it works, because I'm going to have you interact with this. So if I copy the link and send it out, this is where it will take you. Okay, so my question is, my prompt, how do you envision yourself using this feature with your students? So the submit feature. Answer the question that is found in the title, and then you would turn on your mic and record. And then, so let's see. So I envision myself using this feature with my students, let's say maybe as a warm-up or an exit ticket. So recorded it, and then I can play it back, see if I'm satisfied with it. So I envision myself using this feature with my students, let's say maybe as a warm-up or an exit ticket. And then I can submit it. Easy, right? So the video is submitted successfully. So let's see what it looks like on our screen here. So you'll see I have one submission, and it'll take me to my Screencastify submit folder. And then you'll see, you do need to have you do need to be registered with Screencastify. So it'll be found here. So let's test it out with you and see how it works. Okay. I'm going to copy the link and
have you done this?
And then I'm going to paste it in.
You were just now doing it, right? So you don't know, like when you share this out with your students and they complete or do a submission, will you get like all of your students, like let's say you have all you know, from all your different periods all in one folder. So you have to then go through and as you're grading or you're checking the submissions, enter in your grade book, right? If you're grading this assignment.
That is a good thing to know. So actually in the Screencastify tutorial, they put their period number in the title. So that way, and then they create like 5 of the same assignment, except it has a different period number. That way it's all in its own folder, so within the Screencastify submit folder.
It'll sort it out for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Each title is its own subfolder in the Screencastify submit folder. All right, so folks, if you wouldn't mind playing around with this for me, and then let's just see these submissions pile up. So I'm gonna be quiet. Okay, I'm gonna unmute myself. Unsure if you're participating in this, but I know that it works because Sonia was able to submit a video or a recording. So thank you for that. So I know it works. Okay, so maybe we could play around with that during the sandbox. I'm going to move on to one more feature of Screencastify. It's a new one again. And then we can have our little 15-minute break and come back for the sandbox session. All right. Brain fart.
Gabrielle,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
click on sessions and it will show you like the folder where it's at, or oh, there it is. Okay. Does it record? Let's select student recording type. How would you find it?
Let me go back here. Okay, so let's say you created your assignments or your assignment.
You want to find me? Yeah.
You submitted. You can click the submissions number and it'll take you to that Google Drive, or you can go to the Google Drive folder itself and find it there.
Okay, got it.
And then you'll see that it is formulated by first and last name and email.
Ah. And if you wanted like them sorted out by period, like that's already one period, right? This folder is already for one period.
Yeah, this period is for one or this folder is for one period. So you'd have to recreate it again, however many times, however many classes you're doing it with, and make sure that you specify
which period.
Yeah. So again, I can go in here and edit. I can go back and edit the assignment details and do like, okay, period 1. And then it'll just rename that folder.
I guess my question is, because when I do like in Google Classroom, I will duplicate, right? Or, certain assignment, like I don't want to have to go in there like, okay, I'm going to go to period 1 and then, create the assignment, whatever. What I like about it is that I can select the classes that I want it to go to, and then it automatically creates that for each class. And so I guess my question was, will this do the same thing if it's linked with Google Classroom, or I do have to do this process for every single separate period?
Yeah, for this one. Okay, so let's see. Google Classroom. This will be the title of your assignment created in Google Classroom. Blah, 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 blah. So let's test it. Yeah.
Oh, you can select.
So you can select for.
Can you select multiple classes at the same time? Like when you use other, like I've used a dozen, it just lets you go one at a time.
So you still have to do it one at a time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I guess that was my question. There you go. It answered it.
Yep. Alrighty. So there's the submit feature. Oh, I got another one. Thank you to whoever sent that. Let's see who it was. Thank you, Stephanie. Okay. I'm going to move on to the interactive feature, interactive questions. Too many tabs. All right. It's like edpuzzle, but in Screencastify. There's one limitation with this. It's very new. You can only do multiple choice, multiple select questions. So no free response. So yeah, to create interactive questions for your video, you'll want to be in the video management page. So I'll just kind of model that for you. You also have this GIF here. So if I go to my videos, and let's just go back to my Screencastify recording of this Google Meet.
I'm glad you brought up edpuzzle. I was just kind of questioning or wondering how maybe we can, we can use Screencastify to create our video in itself, and then possibly use that or upload that same video into edpuzzle, and then add the questions or interactions that you need prior to sharing. And edpuzzle does allow you to select multiple classes, right? So let's say I want to give that same edpuzzle to 3 of my classes because they're the same grade level. I don't have to, go individually and post in each class.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So Edpuzzle has more features in terms of checking for understanding. So, you know, you could screen record with Screencastify and then upload that video to Edpuzzle and then do those questions from there. Or you could just, if you are just kind of wanting to do multiple choice questions, Screencastify has the simple method. So, you know, it's up to you. So remember, I clicked the video and then it took me here, and then I could do add interactive questions. So then it'll open up. Oh, it's making me sign in. Here. Apologies. Let me sign in real quick. I don't know why it's making me sign in. Okay. So it takes me to this window here, okay? So I can move, you know, where I want the question to be. So let's say, okay, at the second, I can be like, what is Sonia's last name? And then I can, you know, Gutierrez, Alejo. Yes. And then, so once I have like 4 choices, I can select which is the correct. Oh, I can only do 1. So it's only multiple choice, not multiple select. Okay, and then you'll know that your question was added because you'll see that gray dot there. And then when students watch the video, recording like a quick. All right, so what I'm doing right now, I'm just kind of recording like a quick. So when I share this, so I can copy it or I can share it to Google Classroom. And then if I share it to Google Classroom or, you know, what's great about this is you can get the responses live from them. Okay, so also in the slides, I've kind of included the GIFs in there, just showing down of the interactive questions feature. I am at time now. So you are welcome to take a 15-minute break. I'll be around if you won't have any questions, but I'm going to stop recording now. Stop